Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 49 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Today we're talking about a couple of tools that I consider the best tools for emotional well-being. They're not the most common tools, but because we talk about visualization and self-care and all the things we talk about a lot and we'll talk about throughout this year that help us feel better. But a couple tools I personally found and used extensively over the last decade plus are two things. One called a flip book, and I will talk about how I create and how I share and how I use flip books, as well as card carrying. And you can see I practice what I preach. These are card decks that I've purchased from some of my favorite authors. These are cards that I've used, and I've got literally hundreds, if not thousands, of these different types of cards. This is actually a card file that I use for a personal challenge to look at one every day. I just randomize them, put them in a box, and I pulled one out every day. And it's amazing how many times pulling out that card, it was the exact thing I needed to hear at the time. I don't know how it works, but it works for me. And then carrying different cards, you can just use 3x5 cards and write inspirational messages. You can create your own cards to carry. Or I think what I'm going to do this year to help me with my mood journal is carry a blank card in my pocket so I can write, what am I feeling, what am I experiencing, and then how am I responding and reacting, what are my triggers, things like that we talked about yesterday. But using cards, either someone else's or your own that you create, either blank or with words of inspiration or things that make you feel good on them, is one of my favorite tools. And the second tool I want to talk about today, and I didn't dig out examples of it except for my one from 2020. This was my flip book from 2020, and I just write inspirational things on each page, and then I review them. I like to flip through them when I get some spare time or when I need an emotional boost, right? If something bad happens or somebody hurts my feelings, I would grab my flip book and I would just start flipping through it. I like this strategy so much that following my sudden cardiac arrest, I actually wrote a book and published it on Amazon. It's still available on Amazon today, which is really pathetic. I don't have a copy of my own book sitting right by me to show you. But it was I think it was the first book I ever published. Probably my first book, so it should be around me, but I've got one copy at least of it here. I just don't have it handy. It's kind of like my ClickFunnels books. They're not usually handy either, and I like them a lot. So, flip books or card carrying a card with you. So what's our action item today? What are we going to do? How can we apply this in our life? I guess I could look at, and I'll publish in the notes. If you go to the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group under Guide 17, for the month of February, I'm experimenting with publishing just a couple of paragraphs about the topic that we're talking about. And I will share something there under day 49. And it'll pop up right on the top once I put it online this morning, because I'm not changing around the order of things or anything. And I'm just trying to decide and play with some tools and decide, do I want to write and do video, or do I just want to continue to do video for my annual challenges, which is what I've done for about the last 5 years. Just done a quick video, action item, boom, do the action item, because selfishly, it keeps me moving ahead in different areas and aspects of my life every single day, and helps me to feel what I want to feel instead of just being, pushed around by the world and the things that happen around us, or that other events or people in our life impact us with. I get to choose and create what I want versus being at other people's will. So, flip books. If you want to know more about flip books, direct message me and I will hook you up. I can probably hook you up with at least a PDF of my book. I will let you know it is long. It is a lot of white space, but it's long for a reason, because it's meant to be used as a tool, and there's a couple different ways you can use it, but you go in every day and you randomly pick something, you read the message, and then you write on the page, what does it mean to you? I like to write in my books, so I created a book that's meant to be written in. All right, that's it. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, action item today, either try carrying a card around with you, get a card, go look, search out. Like I said, a lot of books have these card decks that go along with them, and I find them really fun and inspirational. And I only buy ones that are on the positive track of what I want to create in my life, so I know that whichever one I grab for the day, it's going to be a good message for me. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll of course see you tomorrow.